Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host JC, and today we're going to take the mystery out of the Gamo PR-776, and we'll get into exactly what this is in just a moment. But before we get started, please hit that subscribe button down in the corner. It won't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, and it really helps support the channel. Also, check out our website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got t-shirts, I've got hats, I've got Generation 2 bipods for those of you who want to put a bipod on your break barrel air rifle. I got the complete kit for that. Also, those of you that have Gamo break barrel rifles and have a SAT or a CAT trigger, I sell a trigger kit for those that will turn those triggers into a mat style trigger. So check those out on the website when you have a chance. And occasionally I also put some of my personal inventory up there. And I like to recycle, and that way I can bring you new stuff. But what do we got today? Today we got the Gamo PR-776. I've had this for ages, I really have. And what is this? This is a 12-gram CO2 revolver that shoots .177 caliber pellets. Yes, and it has a rifle barrel. This is specifically designed to shoot pellets. This has a 12-gram CO2. It's got it right here in the bottom with the piercing valve right there. So you just drop CO2 in and then you pierce it. And this is similar to some of the other models, but I'll get into that at the end. But this one actually has an 8-round clip. This has an 8-round clip, and it goes in real simple. Just like this. It comes with 2 of them. In fact, they just drop in just like that. So you can load this up and then have spare clips and just, you're ready to go. But anyway, here's what it looks like in the package right here. So as you can see, you get 2 of those metal clips along with your pistol in a clam shell package. As you guys know, I'm really thrilled about that. But anyway, this is your packaging. This is how it comes. Yes, I have a second one. In fact, this might end up on the website if you guys are interested, because what I really need with 2, I don't. Anyway, this has fully adjustable sights. It's got adjustable rear sight for windage and elevation, and then it's got a little white dot on the front blade here, so it kind of helps you with your sight measure, but they're fully adjustable. But again, this has 8-shot magazines, so it comes 2, and these are all metal, and you saw how easy they go in and out. Gamo claims this will get about 400 feet per second with a platinum pellet. So 400 feet per second with a platinum pellet. It only comes in 1 finish and 1 barrel length. This is it. And this kind of like a dark gray. It's like a really nice painted finish on there is what it is. But it is single and double action. Obviously it can be decocked, and you have your double action too. So you have both. But I like the fact that you got 8 shots there. Anyway, let's show you the performance, and then come back at the very end and I'm going to show you a little trick you can do to maybe increase the velocity on these. All right, so stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's test our Gamo PR-776 over the chronograph. We'll see what type of velocity we get. We're just going to shoot 5 shots, and we're just going to shoot some of these Diablo Basics. This isn't pellet picky, but it actually does quite well with these Diablo Basics, and they're just right around a 7-grain pellet. So we'll do 5 shots, see how we make out. All right, shot number 1. 453. Shot number 2. 452. Shot number 3. 438. Shot number 4. 417. And one more here. 412. Very respectable. Lead pellet, well over 400 feet per second. You gotta like that. And don't forget to stick around to the end. I'm going to show you a minor little thing you can do these to increase the velocity a little bit. So anyway, there's your average feet per second. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's test out our Gamo, our PR-776 here for some accuracy. We're going to be going ahead and shooting some, this is not pellet picky. I like the RWS, the 7 grains, but let's kick it up a little bit. We'll go with some of this Match Light pellets from H&N. These are actually 7.87 grain, so we're looking at almost 7.9 grain pellet. But let's try these for some accuracy, just for the heck of it. Take 5 shots, see how well it groups. This does have fully adjustable sights, both for windage and elevation. We're going to be shooting at our larger 8-inch splatterburst target, like the impact points. I'll be aiming dead center. We'll just kind of see how it groups. No guarantees. We're our usual about 11 yards back, the 10 meters, 11 yards, what we do for the air pistols. So go ahead, check that out real quick. You can see what we're shooting at. All right, so let's just shoot 5 shots, and then we'll just see how well this thing groups. All right, shot number 1. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. And one more shot. Shot number 5. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. It did okay, as you saw with these pellets. Let's play with some different pellets. Some might be a little bit better than others. I do like the RWS, the 7 grains. I think they're kind of a nice balance. They're very inexpensive too. So anyway, there you go. There's your accuracy test with your PR-776. So let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the trigger on our Gamo here, on our 776. I'm going to do double action and single action both. So let's start out with a little double action. Got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge all set here. All right, it's a 7-pound trigger. 7 pound, 1.6 ounces. So yeah, that's what you're going to expect in double action. All right, let's do single action and see how we make out. Four pounds, 9 ounces. More like it, 4 pounds, 9 ounces. These have actually pretty good triggers on them. And again, I'm going to remind you guys, these are the same as the early issues, the Dan Wesson. It's the same frame, same setup. So there you go. There's your trigger. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, guys, a little plinking with our PR-776. This thing holds 8 shots, so we got 8 targets set up. Go ahead and check out our distance real quick. You can see we're roughly at that 11 yards. We've got some aluminum cans there on the bottom shelf. We've got some smaller objects, including a little shotgun shell, a little medicine bottle, and even a whipped cream cap. So let's just see how well we do. Like I said, 8 shots, 8 targets. We miss. But just in case, I'm not going to leave a target standing there. I do have a backup clip, magazine, whatever you want to call it, another 8 rounds, but hopefully we're not going to need it. All right, so let's we're going to start with the bottom shelf. We'll clear the aluminum cans, kind of warm us up, and then we'll go to the top. So let's see how well we do. Cans are a piece of cake. There's nothing to it. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit more skillful. I'm going to start on the left side. We're going to try the shotgun shell. We're going to work our way over. Missed that one. Got it there though. Got that. I cannot leave that one hanging. Let's throw another magazine in there. That one miss on that shotgun shell got us. All right, let's see if we can get that little bottle still on its slide. Here we go. Hey, that's not bad, okay? Took us 9 shots to get 8 targets. That's not horrible. This thing's pretty accurate, pretty powerful too, as you guys saw before. Let's move on to the next segment. We'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion. I'd say our PR-776 did pretty well overall. It really did. These are pretty cool guns. Let's get into the negatives before we get into all the positive stuff, okay? Probably, to be honest with you, I don't really have any real negatives. I would say one is just the fact that it only comes in one finish, okay? That's really not that big of a negative. And I don't like the clamshell packaging. A little box would be nice, and we keep telling you guys this. No clamshell packaging. All right. I also wish it had some white dots on the back side as well as the front, but I'm being really picky for you guys. Okay, let's just talk about some of the positive. But before we get into this, does this foundation look pretty familiar? You know, most of your really good CO2 pistols, they come out of Taiwan nowadays. Well, guess what? You know the Dan Wesson? This is the Dan Wesson. Look at that one. And how about the Crossman? The SNR 357. Exact same foundation, see? Here's where you put the CO2, right in the back, just like this one. The only difference is these have the shells that go in there, and it's a 6-shot. So basically the only thing they changed between this and the Gamo is the cylinder. This is a different cylinder. Now, getting into positives, I kind of really like these clips, even more so than the shells, because number one, if you just want to drop this thing open and load it, that's fine, but these go in and out. So rather than doing individual shells, I can pull one of these out with 8 rounds in it, and you can swap them as fast as you would with one shell in the other style. So I actually like what Gamo did here. And they do give you, as I said, 2 of these magazines, and I'm going to come back to these in a second. But I really like the 8-round clips, so you're getting 2 extra rounds, and then the loading and unloading, it's just, the process is so much easier. Yeah, you might have the realistic feel with the shells, but in all practicality, this is pretty cool. This almost reminds me of the clips I have with my 357. 357, I have these little clips, and it actually holds the shells, and you drop the whole thing in at once. It's better than a speed loader. It really is. But this is cool. I like these. Easy to load. And the mags are really, they're available, they're out there, and they're reasonably priced. They really are. So yeah, so think about it. You get 4 of those, and you have quite a few extra rounds. Overall, I like this foundation because I like the single action. I think it's nice and smooth. It's a pretty light single action trigger, and the double action's good too. So we're gonna say overall, it's got a pretty good trigger. I like the velocity on this thing. You saw we were cooking with our velocity. I mean, we averaged like 435 feet per second. Speaking of velocity, okay, I'm gonna have to give you guys a little trick right now. All right, so these magazines, the tolerances on them are really tight. If you try to put an alloy pellet in one of these, it won't even fit, because the lead pellets, you know, they have a tendency to bend real easy, so you can get them in. So the pellets are really snug in here, almost too snug. So much so that when the air pressure hits them, there's a lot of resistance for that pellet to come out, okay? So what you can do, get yourself an 11/64 drill bit, just like this. Got to put the glasses on. Just like this. And you're going to take the little magazine and you're just going to hone it out a little bit. Just like this. Just wiggle it around just a little bit. And each one, go around and do each one, just like this. I'm telling you, this will make all the difference of the world as far as loading pellets. And you're also going to gain yourself about 20 feet per second, maybe even 25. It just depends on the pellet. But that's it. Just hone those out a little bit. The grooves are so deep in there, just even hone them out, there's still plenty of room to hold the pellet. So just hone those out, do yourself a favor, and I'm telling you, it's going to increase your velocity, and it'll increase the different style of pellets that you can actually put in the gun, which is kind of neat. So again, an 11/64 drill bit, just hone those babies out just like I showed you. So less resistance, more velocity. Remember that. So overall, I like this pistol. I like the foundation. And like I said, they run anywhere. I've seen them anywhere between $90 and $150. And honestly, it's all solid metal. The thing weighs like 2.5 pounds. It doesn't feel cheap. It really doesn't. So I'd say it's pretty cool. But Gamo is the only one that's got these cool clips. And you get 8 shots instead of 6, so keep that in mind. So how would I rate this pistol overall? The 8-shot clips, I really like it. Good accuracy. Not great accuracy, but good accuracy. And we do get good velocity. And it's affordable. So in my book, 4.5 stars. And if you're into pistols, this is one you should own, honestly. And again, I'm going to come back to this again. I like these, the 8-round clips. The whole loading process is just nice and fast. It's really cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. This is where we take the mystery out of the airgun. I hope you and your families are doing great and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.